Everybody rise, please. Councilman Edwards, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Dear Lord, we pray that whatever we do here in this session and for the city of Minden is in accordance with your will and not our will. And that we follow all the rules and regulations so that this city can function as designed. Feed them in every blessing, as in your name. Amen.
Amen. Councilman Walker, will you lead us in a pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated and we'll come to order. I'll ask everyone to please silence your cell phones if you have them with you. And I want to welcome you to October's council meeting. And there is a printed agenda that's available to you, and we'll follow that agenda. And at this time, I'll see if there's anybody that has any questions or comments from the public on any of the agenda items. If not, we'll go to item A, which is the approval of the council minutes for the regular session of September the 6th. What's the wishes of the council?
So moved.
Wayne Edwards? Second. Michael Roy makes a second. Are there any comments? If not, all vote, please.
Good.
I thought yours was up, and it wasn't. All right, there it is. Okay, then we'll go to item B, and this is to adopt the minutes of the special council that was held on September the 14th. There was just one item on that. What's the wishes of the council?
So moved.
Michael Roy makes the motion.
Second.
Wayne Edwards, is there any discussion? If not, cast your votes, please. Then we'll move on to item number C. This is ordinance number 1129, annual bridge maintenance report. This is a report that we have to make every year to the Louisiana Transportation Development to review the postings of the city bridges. So what's the wishes of the council?
I move to adopt ordinance number 1129, annual bridge maintenance report, the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development requirement to annually review the posting of all bridges as presented.
Second by Tarika Walker. Is there any questions or comments? This is a standard item we do every year. If not, cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous, and we'll move to item D. This is to adopt the annual certification compliance for the state of Louisiana for the off-system bridge replacement. Again, this is just an annual thing that we do. So what's the wishes of the council?
I move to adopt a resolution for annual certification of compliance with the state of Louisiana off-system bridge replacement program as presented.
Second.
Second by Michael Roy. Motion made by Wayne Edwards. Any questions or comments? If not, please cast your votes. Okay, and it's unanimous, and we'll move to item E. A series of things that we're going to do here has to do with application for a Louisiana Community Development Block Grant. This will be street overlays for next year, but we have to go ahead and start doing the process for the, I think we're going to get we're applying, I'll put it that way, we're applying for 1.6 million to do street overlays. Okay, so that's what this is about. This is to adopt a resolution for the application for the grant.
I move to adopt a resolution authorizing the application for the Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Program and designating signatory authority to the mayor of the city of Minden as presented.
Second.
Second by Vincent Bradford. Motion made by Michael Roy. Any comments or questions? If not, please cast your votes. And it's unanimous. Item F is to adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute on behalf of and in the name of the city, a contract with Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Administrative. This is where we get CDB that always administrators of grants for us. This gives me the authorization to go to work with them. So what's the wishes of the council?
I move to adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute on behalf and in the name of the city of Minden, a contract for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Administrative Services as presented.
Second by Vincent Bradford. Motion made by Wayne Edwards. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor, cast your votes. It's unanimous. Item G is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute on behalf in the name of the city a contract with Louisiana Community Engineering Services. This is just another thing that goes along with this grant. What's the wishes of the council?
I move to adopt a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute on behalf and in the name of the city of Minden, a contract for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Engineering Services as presented.
Second.
Second by Tarika Walker. Motion made by Wayne Edwards. Any questions or comments? Not? Cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous. Item H is to adopt a resolution that proceeds to be utilized for the procurement with Louisiana Community Development Block Grant.
I move to adopt a resolution that adopts procedures to be utilized for procurement with Louisiana Community Development Block Grant funds as presented.
Second.
Second by Wayne Edwards. Motion made by Tarika Walker. Any questions or comments? If not, cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous. Item I, whoops,
Wait.
we're waiting. Now it is. Thank you. All right, item I is a cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana for improvements to Victory Park. This is a grant for $100,000 to be used over there at Victory Park to bring some improvements. I think it's quite lengthy, but if you read that, it has to do with some pickleball courts and some other things that'll bring us up to good standards over there. So what's the wishes of the council?
Move to authorize the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana for grant funds for improvement to Victory Park and authorize the mayor to sign all documents pertaining thereto.
Seconded.
All right, Pam Bloxham, second. Motion made by Michael Roy. Any questions or comments?
And I think they'll be starting this week on cleaning that area up, taking the fence down, and starting some of the prep work.
Well, we're going to start real soon on that, yes.
The outdoor fitness center and all that I showed a picture of last time.
Right. Okay. If you're ready, cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous. Item J is adopt a resolution, the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for the audit period. Every year, we have to fill out a questionnaire for the audit period, and this just is the resolution that we can do for the routine requirements that are required. So what's the wishes of the council?
I move to adopt a resolution adopting Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for the audit period 10/1/21 through 9/30/22 as presented.
All right, second by Vincent Bradford. Motion made by Wayne Edwards. Is there any questions or comments? If not, cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous. And then we'll go to item K. This is the annual audit engagement. We are required by state law to engage an accounting firm to conduct our annual audit. We're also required to engage an accounting firm to apply statewide agreed-upon procedures, and this is with Allen, Green, and Williamson LLP for both of these. One is no more than $78,000, and the other one is no more than $8,000. So what's the wishes of the council?
I move to approve the engagement of Allen Green and Williamson LLP to conduct our annual audit, including the statewide agreed upon procedures for the fiscal year 2021, 2022, as presented.
Second.
Second by Wayne Edwards, motion made by Vincent Bradford. Any questions or comments?
What was the audit engagement last time, money-wise?
I believe $1,000 less, 77,300, I believe.
Is there a reason why they went up?
Well, that was at the beginning of the last year's audit, that was an agreement signed.
Did that,
But it,
the 78 is?
I didn't.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Not, please cast your votes. All right, and it's unanimous. Then we go to item L. This is Michael Fleur, City Clerk, that will present the budget and financial report for August.
Good evening, everybody. Since we are flying through the agenda, I don't want to hold the show up, so to speak. The budget report for the month of August was presented to each council member for her or his review. If you have any additional questions to that, please feel free to contact me. It's the month of August. It's a month to get prepared for the rest of the year, so to speak. We have seen in September quite some expenses, and even some other ones are still outstanding. So I would not look too happy if you're going to look on the last page for the summary, because the amount of favorable or favorite will come down. So going to wait for an example for $1.5 million for Country Club Circle and Shepherd Street. So, and there are some other expenses which we had not seen. However, the report is a good report. We are still on the positive side, so let's hope it will stay at the end of the year the same way. However, sales tax figures for the month of August collected $619,074. The previous month was $1,500 more, $626.30. The previous year for the month of August was $569,250, so roughly $50,000 less than this month. Delinquent payments, this month $6,616. According to the Webster Parish Sales Tax Commission, increase is to be seen in retailers and online purchasing, increase on online purchasing. So even we see an increase on the regular sales tax, the TIF districts collected $2,000 less than last year, about $11,000 and a few $100 for the additional 2% in the TIF districts. The cash report for the month of August, actual cash in the bank, 13 million, investments and savings, 8.8 million, total 21.8, previous months, the same amount, 21.8. Other information related to the finances, the auditors, even you signed tonight the agreement, the auditors did already their inventory at the warehouse. They didn't find any problems at the warehouse inventory. Value of the inventory, just for general information, $1.5 million sitting in the warehouse. Country Club Circle, like I mentioned before, Country Club Circle and Shepherd Street overlay, except for the striping and cleaning up and so on.
That's also Pine Street and Methodist
Pine
Camp Road.
Street,
too.
yeah, it was a whole package for these streets, 1.4, 1.5 million in that area. I want to share with you something which I think the chief and I were laughing and were not understanding. The chief has hired a full-time dispatcher and also a secretary, and now we've been told that these employees need to be reported in the police municipal report, police municipal retirement system. Even they are non-civil service employees. Everybody basically who works now in the police department, if civil service or not, has to go into the police retirement system, which means roughly 2% more for the city on retirement contribution. That's based on the retirement system says on an opinion from the Attorney General. They could not provide the opinion. So we are still waiting on the explanation. I did not understand that. That falls also back on Mrs. Cheatham. They're gonna come back to her, and probably she has to go in the retirement system from the police too. So I don't know if you have more information, Chief, or not, but that is, I don't understand that.
That's my understanding too. But what's confusing is, you know, when I turned my paperwork in, I assumed that I would fall under the police retirement system, but
No.
due to my length of time here, I'm going through the city, the municipal.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So it is kind of confusing.
It had to do with your time. That probably means that the future chief of police probably falls under depends on the time before, falls into the police retirement system, which means automatically more contribution from the city. I did not understand that. I was asking for the Attorney General's opinion. They could not provide it. But the regular retirement system refused to take the employee into their system. So something is going on out there.
So both MERS, which is the city employees, and PERS, which is the policemen, both agree that it needs to be in there. Is that
In the
correct?
police.
That's correct?
That's what it comes up to. So I still request the Attorney General's opinion. We even asked LMA, and Karen White, the attorney, she was basically saying they tried to clean up their mess from previous years, what they did wrong. So I don't know.
So you did a written request for an opinion?
No, we did not request. I asked the MERS and the retirement system from the police just sent me the Attorney General opinion, or give me the number, I can look it up. Well, it's not published yet.
Well, they're not going to give you an opinion if you call and ask them. You have to write and ask for an opinion. So Mr. Yoakum could actually ask for an opinion.
That is maybe meanwhile the case I got before. All what she has to give me is the number.
The opinion's already been made.
I can
No,
look
they're-
on the
they're not-
website from the
you-
Attorney
But
General.
what I'm saying is that you can't call them and get an opinion. You have to write and request.
Yeah, but Mrs. Walker, I didn't want the opinion, I want the number.
It's on the website.
He's saying there's already an Attorney General's opinion. He simply wants the number to
I
pull
want
it
to
up.
just
look
want a
up
copy
on
of the opinion.
on the
The opinion's already
website,
been
the
made.
opinion.
Right, you can go to the website, put in that
Go to the
number.
website and do a search.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't
It
come
says
up.
it doesn't come up.
So
Okay, well,
I
we
don't
can-
think they have an opinion yet.
Well, then we could get Mr. Yocum to
And we
ask
will.
for an opinion.
Anyway, I thought that was funny in one respect. On the other side, I couldn't understand that they've been asking somebody who is not in the police force, has no civil service, nothing to do with civil service, to be in the police retirement system. That means if we hire a janitor for the police department, he needs to go in the police retirement system. That's crazy. But anyway, that's all what I have tonight.
Any questions, Mr. Fleur?
I have a question.
Yes.
So if they have to go into the police retirement, does that mean that they'll have to get back pay or something? Well, how's that going to be handled? Since they haven't been there.
We don't know. That's the reason we won't.
I don't know anything yet. In the chief's case, it had to do with the years he worked.
It was my understanding, and I'm not 100% accurate about it, or not sure I understand it all, but I paid into the police retirement for the 12 years I've been here. And then when I turned in my paperwork, I got confused because I started getting things from the city's retirement. And so I talked to April about it, and she said she called, and based on my years of service, and I don't know what the cutoff is. I don't know if it's more than 12 years or what.
She
but
didn't share the
She said based
conversation.
on my years of service that I would have to fall under the city's retirement and not the police retirement. And I think I paid into the police retirement for the last 12 years, because that's what I assumed I
The
was under.
confusion seems to be not here, but in Baton Rouge. And so we're trying to get,
Tried to clear it up, specifically Mrs. Cheatham. She is in the regular retirement system too.
Right.
And they talk about that we have to move her over in the police retirement.
We didn't really run across this until we hired Chanel full-time, and that's when it kind of came to light, to me anyway, that she was not going to be under the city's retirement, that she would fall under the police retirement.
How many years does she have, 30?
Who?
Cheatham.
no, she's not got that many.
No.
She hasn't been there that
We are
long.
not talking about her.
She probably, 3 or 4 years, maybe? 4 years.
And April said that she would have to go on the police retirement.
That's
Yes.
what,
Who brought it to light? April?
Right.
Okay.
But we don't know if it retros back to her hire date or not.
I got you. I don't know.
no, we don't. We're still in the process of working that out and trying to get more information for them, and so far, we have
Try
not.
to get something in writing, legally binding, and not just by what somebody says. But in the case of the dispatcher, the regular retirement system refused to take them, to take her.
Because she works for the police department.
So right now, she's not in any retirement.
No, she'll be in the
We
police
filed
retirement.
her in the-
Yes.
Because if you be in the police retirement system, you have to have a physical test, you have lab tests to be done, and you have to have a TB test done. Which in regular retirement system, you don't need all that. So there is something behind there too. Anyway, I thought it was interesting to share with you.
Okay, thank you for your report. Now it's time for the police report, Chief.
Okay, for the month of August, we collected $3,730.50 in city fines, $350 to the crime lab, $377.50 to city court, $360 to the marshal's office, $535 to the Indian Defender's office, $24 to the clerk's fund, $90 to the Ware Center, $22 to the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement, $140 to off-duty witness fees, $36 to the Court Case Management Information System,
$55 to the Louisiana Traumatic Head and Spinal Cord Injury Trust Fund, $120 to the Judicial Building Fund, $5.50 to the Judicial Education Fund, totaling $5,845.50.
Okay, you've heard the written report. What's the wishes of the council?
So moved.
Wayne Edwards makes the motion, Vincent Bradford seconds. Any questions or comments? If not, cast your votes, please. And it's unanimous. And then you want to give us your oral report?
Yeah, the month of September, we received 961 calls for service. In District A, we had 153, District B, 250, District C, 109, District D, 51, District E, 126, and then we had 8 out of jurisdiction, which were all prisoner transports. Incidents by district, or incidents for the month of September, we generated a total of 163 written reports. District A had 46, District B had 42, District C had 28, District D had 14, and District E had 33. We had a total of 69 arrests during the month of September. District A had 17, District B 19, District C 7, District D 1, District E 8, and we had 1 outside jurisdiction. We had 16 actual arrests at the Minden Police Department. And that's all I have.
I just got one question. On your arrest by district, are any of those repeat offenders?
Oh, probably.
Most of them?
Well, I don't know about most of them, but a lot of them are.
A lot of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chief, do you have any comparison with these calls, with our calls, with other cities?
No.
Could you look into some similar cities our size? Because I have where I'm going is someone stated at a forum that per capita, Minden is the highest, has the highest crime rate per capita. I'm questioning that, and so I'd like to have a little more information to see how that comes out. If you could
I'll see what I
possibly,
can find out.
maybe a couple of others just to compare.
Okay.
And see how we rank with them.
Okay. Basically, are you looking for like total arrests?
Yeah,
or-
just probably totals, to look at total crime, and that's the only way I would know how to start to addressing it.
Sure.
I am now. Yes, sir.
Calls, sometimes one person calls more than once, or they have such a high number. I mean, if the police not there when they think they should be there, call back and back, or somebody,
I'm sorry.
you don't have any way
Your
to,
microphone's not on.
do you have any way to know, if these are repeated calls?
No. I mean, I'm not sure I understand your question, but you
Are
talk
they
about
dialing,
the calls-
are they dialing 911, or are they dialing straight?
No, some of them do, some of them just call direct.
Okay, so the 911, you can really trace those.
Yes, yes.
Say I call for an incident and then Mr. Edwards calls for the same incident. So those are both included in this number?
No, no, that would be,
It'd just be-
I mean, it's
so
just
this
one
900
service, it's just one service, so two call, if both of y'all called, it would just be as one call
Kind of just
service.
one.
So this 951 means there's 951 incidents.
Right, well, 961 people have called and reported an incident,
It
correct,
may not be the same.
right.
So, I mean, I kind of think what he was getting at is of the 961 calls, were they all basically criminal related? Because
No,
we sit
no,
here
no.
month to month.
No.
And we listen to you give the numbers, and I think in everyone's mind is that it's something, it's an arrest, it's criminal related, but it's any kind of call.
Yes, anything,
Okay.
it can be
Dead in the
anything.
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything simple. A lot of people call the police department when electricity's out,
Okay. Because even with the way it's reported sometimes, it's as though it's criminal related.
No.
And we're looking at, you know, specifically my district, when we have 250 calls, but then when you look at the number of incidents, it's only 42, but it.
What you really need to look at is the number of arrests.
Yes.
Right.
Or not necessarily arrests, but the reports generated. Like because we only generated 163 written reports, which means the difference between the 163 and the 961 is just,
Okay.
The 163 is a significant number, and then,
Yes.
then the number of arrests will tell you,
Right.
you know, what was really criminal.
And it averages about that 145
Yes.
mark, because it's been about 146, 153, now it's 163.
Right.
So it's averaging, say, in the 140 mark. And that's why I guess it's hard for me to contend that per capita, we're the highest. I'm not sure where that number came from, and, you know, with that being said, it kind of alarms me, because I don't hear of that much.
But it comes from this right here, it's misleading when you say there's 961 calls, so it would seem as though we did have the highest rate per capita, but it's not being said that
it's
these
just,
calls
it would be
are.
even included in the 961 is like a traffic stop.
Yeah.
You know, that's even included in that. So those numbers
Call
are,
for help, or like you said, an
Yeah, that's
animal or
right.
anything, but when
Right.
you listen to these numbers, they are misleading. So that would lead someone to think that Mendon is full of crime.
no, the majority of those calls are just people calling for different reasons.
Any other discussion?
No.
If not, we need to move to council comments, and I'm going to start tonight with Councilman Michael Roy, because he has an announcement to make.
So National Night Out is Tuesday, October the 11th, and Ashley is helping me with that. So if you have any questions, give me a shout, 658-7244, or give Ashley a shout, and between the two of us, we'll be glad to try to get all those questions answered. This has already gone out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How many hours are?
And then hours on the 11th will be 6 to 8. So if anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to give me a shout.
When's the last day to register your party, your block party?
That's October 7th.
The 7th.
Okay.
Okay, wasn't in here.
All right. With that?
I don't have any other
Any other
comments.
council comments? We'll go back to Wayne.
No comment.
Mr. Rico?
Well, I was gonna say something about National
Go
Night
ahead.
Out, but, no, it's already been said. And also that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That's it.
No comment.
Pam?
Me. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's been involved with the restructuring, rebuilding of Country Club Circle. It's been a slight inconvenience for us on the north side of town, but it's going to be such a great improvement when it's all finished. It's my understanding that we're winding down, that we are trying to clean up and get the street striped, and then it'll be wide open for local and visitor traffic. And then also, I'd like to remind everybody that early voting begins October the 25th, runs to November 1st, with the exception of Sundays. Please research your candidate choices, and if you think there's a chance you won't be at the November 8th voting precincts, then I encourage you to vote from October the 25th to November the 1st.
Mayor, I do have one other comment besides National Night. I do want to thank the linemen and the police department. About a week ago, I guess, large limb fell. Took 2 poles out, if I remember, 2 cross members.
Right.
About 10:30, all the way down Broadway and Elm Street. And I know those 2 guys for the electric crew came out, tried to respond and get everybody back up going as quickly as possible. So I want to thank everybody that helped with that, and I know the neighborhoods do as well.
Just a comment, sort of join in on that. Our line crew is down to 5 members. That's everybody, well, it's 4 counting, and then 5 counting if you're counting Mo, who is the department head. It's very difficult and very hard for us to respond like we have in the past because of the number of line crew. We just had one young man who's just been with us a short while move on to another job, and it's all about pay, so that's definitely something that we need to address, okay? I don't have any other comments. Are there any comments from the audience concerning any announcements or anything?
Hold on. I think you need to let them know about the water.
Oh, yes, we did have a boil advisory. There's a difference between a boil advisory and a boil notice. A notice means that you have to boil. Advisory is just that you maybe should. We had a low-pressure problem that had to do with our tank that we're getting ready to refurbish. And because of that, we're required to have a boil advisory go out. It's, I don't think the water was ever contaminated. There was no breaks or anything, but there were, by rules, we have to do that. So the decision was made to do that. We had to do it citywide because the low pressure affected everybody in town. That was lifted. We got the samples back, 15 samples back on Friday. But out of those 15, 1 sample tasted bad, which means to me that it was just a bad sample to start with. So we had to go back on either side of that place where that sample was taken and take 2 more samples. Didn't get the results of that till Saturday. So Saturday about 10 o'clock is when we got notified by the health department that the boil advisory had been lifted. So we're in good shape on that. Okay? Joe, are you waving at me, or are you wanting to say something? Come to the mic.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to remind everyone, please, that on the Webster Parish Fair starts tomorrow. The parade will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we hope to see everybody out there. And I want to thank all of you all for your prayers during the time of my bereavement. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
How about announcing the fair?
If there aren't any comments, we'll be adjourned.